from a first feature, and little did I know that it would be a movie that would be translated into 12 languages now. All over the world.
That's incredible. When, do you remember what the first time was that somebody that, so when you went back to Alabama, that somebody you knew, family member or maybe a patient or somebody said to you, hey, were you in a movie?
Yeah. Well, my brother-in-law called me. He was up at the University of Pennsylvania, Will, who's Lebanese like you guys, which is really cool. My brother-in-law's Lebanese as well. And anyway, Will called me and said, George, your movie's out. And I go, this is way before Google. There was Amazon in 1989. I do remember it was on sale on Amazon. And it just got terrible reviews. And I said, well, what's it like? And he says, it's bad. I said, well, how bad is it? He says, it's really bad. So I was already set up, thinking, oh, shit, I don't want to really watch this thing because I know it's going to be bad. So I remember seeing it, like in the documentary Best Worst Movie, which you guys have got to get. Is it Michael Stevenson, who 17 years later we made Best Worst Movie. It took about 4 years to film, and about 8 countries, and we went back and we actually discovered patients. I got patients in my mind. We discovered fans all over the world, and we went up here to New York and we filmed Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. And I'm getting sidetracked, but we made a documentary called Best Worst Movie. So the bottom line is, I had no idea this thing was going to be what it was, and then 17 years later, I just stumbled across it, and here we are today with a documentary, and me in New York for the 5th time about this thing.
Well, I have to say, with the bleakness of the set, the monochrome color of the cast, it reminds me a lot of growing up. But what was it really like on set when no one spoke English, no one knew what was going on? I mean, how absolutely out of control was that?
And none of us were actors either. I mean, really, I got paid $1,500 for 3 weeks of shooting. It was $100 a day, non-SAG film, and all of us just did the best we could. And they picked I'm not Mormon, but most of the actors that they picked were LDS, Latter-day Saints.
No coffee.
Yeah, no coffee. Yeah, that's the devil's drink for sure. No coffee. The Mormons don't drink coffee. But yeah, I mean, it was just amazing going on set. The only person that could speak English out of the auxiliary cast was our wardrobe lady. And she was just beautiful, but she could speak English, and I can't remember her name now, but I'll later come to find out that she's the black Emmanuel for Italy's porn movies. That was wild. So you know what you're dealing with, when you're, But she was a terrific gal, though, right? I loved her. Just talking to her. Well, that sounds funny. That's just the way we talk in the South. I'm from Alabama. I just got off the plane, and now after my second beer, it's like, oh shit. All right, discombobulated. Whatever.
All right,
I'm sorry.
All right, so I'll ask this question loudly. So
yeah.
We don't quite have a machine. It's okay.
That's right. So one of the questions I've been going around in my head is, so when did you learn about the the cult behind Troll 2? I mean, when did that happen?
Yeah. Okay. So I really got sidetracked a while ago, because what I wanted to say was my brother-in-law called me and said how bad it was. So the bottom line is I never watched Troll 2, even though it came out in 1989 or 91 on VHS. It never came out on the big screen. I saw the first 5 minutes of that film, like it says in the documentary, and I just could not watch it anymore. I couldn't watch it. So I didn't see Troll 2 again until we came up here to New York to the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater and filmed us all watching Troll 2 for the first time. And that's when we first started documenting for the documentary, which took about 4.5 years to make, and in 7 countries and 28 cities. Landmark Theater finally picked up Troll 2 and started showing Troll 2 on the big screens in their theater. And that's something. And so Michael and Stevenson, let me just kind of get to this real quick. Okay, it's April 2006, and I get a phone call one day, and a kid's from Clemson Affirm, and he says, he says, Dr. Hardy, I'd like to do an interview with you on Troll 2, and I go, why? Remember, I've not watched this film. I don't know anything about it. I had forgotten I had done it. My daughters I have 2 girls, and they maybe watched it with some friends. But I mean, you guys, I didn't know it was even a cult film. I mean, it was a cult phenomenon back in 2006. So I had literally put the VHS copy of it was behind my big old TV that was that thick, you know, and it had dropped back there, and there was dust collecting on it. I remember all that, and he says to me in 2006, I'd like to do a radio documentary. He says, if you don't believe me about this being a cult phenomenon, go to IMDb, which I had no idea what that was, but just practicing dentistry. It's the only film ever to receive double zeros on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. And they're right, it is a wow, because not any one film ever has gotten double zeros. Never. And Troll 2 is the only one to get double zeros. And so it's 2006, and I go on IMDb, and there was Troll 2. Number 1, it's at the bottom 100 on the list. So just by fate, it's April the 11th, 2006. I scroll down, and at the bottom of the page, I see forum. The word forum. I thought, well, what's this about? What's this? Took a little arrow and clicked it. And sure enough, there was an invite for all cast members to come to Provo, Utah, to have a screening for the first time in America on a big screen in Provo, Utah, and they were inviting the cast members to come back. And I thought, I gotta go see this. So I